I still have a problem with this theory that we bringing forward karma from lifetime to lifetime. I cannot buy into that.
Can I? I've gone into this concept of karma quite deeply. Karma is basically relates to the unfoldment of the soul, or the development of the soul. And once your soul has developed those characteristics, or you are expressing your soul, then karma. The idea is to clear that pathway I spoke about. And that is the purpose of karma, is to create the situations for you to clear the pathway for the expression of the true, higher spiritual self. And once those conditions have been created, then there is no point. Then the reincarnation cycle is complete. It's because we've allowed over the eons this devolution of the human being, the fall, whatever you want to call it. And it's put all these obstacles in the place of the true human spirit, the true human being. And once we remove these obstacles from the different levels, then the light will come through, and then it will become, we will see it for what it is, as a decision taken somewhere along the line.
I think when you talk about the language of light, it's very simplistic how I put it, but I understood it that we actually have to invite the soul in the body. The soul has to incarnate almost. When they talk about DNA activation and 5% consciousness or whatever, to me it is actually, we are only so much soul aware. You all have the expression sometimes that you say to people, oh, they're soulless. They do things, you can't be a soul there. There can't be a soul quality in that person to do such horrible things. To me, it's a lack of soul. The more soul qualities you embody, the more enlightened one becomes. That's how I see it. And the language of light are the qualities of soul that we embody.
It's getting interesting.
A quick way of assessing soul is the level of consciousness, because soul is the higher consciousness. So the more consciousness the being, whether it's an animal, the closer it is to soul.
Before you give it back, is there a difference between soul and spirit?
Yes. Yeah, what we get in Rosicrucian wisdom, yes. What we say, the soul, because the soul is an intermediate state of consciousness, which is carrying that unresolved issue. Look, you must understand that the divinity which we call universal consciousness of God is perfect. And it's looking for a perfect expression. And if there's any obstacle to this perfect expression, it will bring about those circumstances that will remove this obstacle to its perfection. So, as I say, the soul goes through this incarnation process in order to create those situations in order for human experience, in order for the light to come through. And once it evolves through that stage, and once it evolves through, then the process is concluded.
Can I debate?
Yeah, I asked the same question, and I got a very interesting answer.
It was very interesting. I went to a workshop where I thought this was very refreshing. Soul is the tractor, doing the work, ploughing the fields, helping you to get through this incarnation and facing the challenges and learning the lessons and all that. And that the spirit was another part of you. Your spirit was your luminous energy field, the fun part, the creative part, that knew lots of things about you that you don't know about yourself. That your spirit, it carries all your dreams. It gives you answers to a lot of your daily problems. It's just a thought, difference between soul and spirit.
Yes, no, there is no conflict in what you've said. I quite agree with you. In fact, one goes back to the early churches, early Christian mysticism. They talk about the divine spirit has always been seen as that part which is in the presence of God. And the soul is, I wouldn't say a fallen state, but the soul is a vehicle. The channel through which the divine spirit will reach the human being. Obviously, maybe as a result of energy or something like that, the divine spirit cannot immediately express itself through the human body, which is undeveloped or unevolved. It needs that period of adjustment, which would then be the soul personality, what we call soul personality, which actually determines the personality of the person to a certain extent, of cosmic or universal consciousness. And it flows through this channel into the human body.
Somebody else? Yes, please do.
Chakra likes to refer to karma as information or actions, which after all. Now, if you can keep your emails in the cloud, Why is that more or less difficult than keeping other kinds of information in the cloud, which means, to use that term, which thousands and thousands of years from now, people could actually be your email. The information has been placed within a universe which is itself information and all processing. Therefore, I've never found reincarnation a very difficult concept, because it is the accumulated and stored information in our folder. And the question is, what is its effect? The question, well now, what does it mean? That's another thing. But I just often thought that it makes it possible to think of it, and I think it's very clear and useful way.
Definitely. And you know, people berate themselves for making mistakes, and sometimes they label it as karma. You're allowed to make one mistake every day, otherwise you're never going to learn. So why put a big label of karma on it? All right, folks. Are there any more questions? Because time is marching on. If we have a concept of time this evening, because it's gone so quickly, and it's been so absolutely wonderful.
Can I just, I think, end this with a joke from my side. I was telling the panel tonight this joke I saw about the Mayan calendar. This guy was carving the Mayan calendar, the original guy thousands of years ago, carving the Mayan calendar. And he says to the chief, he says, I've come to the end of this rock, I can't put any more on this rock. This is going to create a lot of big story in a couple of thousand years' time.
And I think that's a very, very good note to end on. So first of all, to our panel, thank you very, very much. Much food for thought. Let's give them a round of applause. And thank you very much to Robin and Nadine and Kima Global Publishers for making this possible. And to all of you for being here tonight, I'd like to hand over to Robin to wrap up the evening. Thank you.
Altogether nothing. Yeah, thank you for being here. Tea is served, coffee, chocolate, and Thanks.